All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. We're going to get started with our Kelle and KWConnect Referrals class today. There have been a lot of new features added to Kelle in the last several weeks, last month or so actually, and this class is going to take all of the time that we have to go over all those new features. Kelle is getting pretty robust in what she can do. So our first step is going to be to, actually let me minimize this and I'll show you the first step. So the first part of this class is going to be more informational than follow along. There are some follow along steps, and I'll give you very specific instructions for how to do that with the image on the screen there. And then after we get done with the slideshow here, I'm actually going to be sharing my phone screen to show you guys what to do in Kelle with the new features. This slideshow actually hasn't been updated, haven't had a chance to yet. So we're going to do some screen sharing to show you what my phone, what your Kelle app should look like via my phone. I do want to get started excuse me, with this one little caveat here. If there's anything that I'm showing here on my phone or on the slideshow or anything that you don't have access to yet, that you're not seeing on your Kelle screen or anything, that just probably means that you aren't a labs participant. You haven't been approved for that particular lab. So if there's anything that you're not seeing on your phone that I'm showing here on mine, unfortunately there's not really anything that can be done about that because you just don't have that particular lab. Eventually, all of these features are going to be available to everybody, but right now it's only available for certain labs participants. So if there's something you're seeing on my screen that you don't have, I guess just take some notes for when it does become available for everybody. Okay. So to get started here, let me skip that. So before we get started with actually working with Kelle, there's a couple of considerations to keep in mind. Kelle is essentially an infant. She's only about 6 months old. She was released at Family Reunion in February of 2018, and there's still a lot that Kelle will be able to do eventually that she can't do yet. Audio is cutting in and out. Are multiple people hearing my audio cutting in and out, or is it just one person? Okay, so it sounds like it might be your computer speakers or maybe your internet connection may not be fast enough to keep up with the bit rate that the streaming is needing to do. So you may need to maybe move closer to your Wi-Fi access point. Okay. Kelle was released at Family Reunion, and she's still really young, and there are certain things that she's going to be able to do eventually that she can't yet. And with that in mind, both us and KW International recommend treating Kelle like a 2-year-old, treat her like you would a toddler. You want to use simple commands, just a couple of words like show my referral network, and you also want to use specific commands like what is my GCI for the year, ask specifically for GCI, gross commission income, versus what have I done this year, which is very vague. There's a lot of things you've done today, this year. How many units have you closed? How many buy side? How many sell side? GCI, all that fun stuff. Closed volume. She's not going to know which part of that you want. You want to ask specifically for GCI, closed volume, closed units, that kind of thing. And then also manage your expectations with Kelle. You could probably have a great idea for something she should or could be able to do, but she just can't yet. And you can submit that idea to KW International right inside the app. I'll be showing you that later. So if there's an idea that you have that she's not doing just yet, make sure to get that over to KW International as they're developing Kelle. So to get started, we first have to install the Kelle app, and I'm sure a lot of you already have it installed, but if you don't, you're going to open up either your App Store on an iPhone, or if you're on an Android, you're going to open the Google Play Store, and you'll just search for Kelle, K-E-L-L-E. Some search suggestions may drop down for additional Keller Williams things. You can ignore those. Just type Kelle in your search bar, and then hit the search button. It's probably down near the bottom right of your keyboard. You can ignore any suggestions that drop down. In your search results, at least on iPhone, this is roughly what it'll look like. It's going to have that nice teal app icon in the top left with the white KW in it. You would want to ignore the KW app. You want to ignore the .loop app. You want to ignore KW events. You want this particular teal one that says Kelle, K-E-L-L-E. And if you're on an iPhone, you would tap Get, and then if it needs your Touch ID or your password, you'd enter that and download it. On an Android, you would tap Install, and you would give it whatever permissions. And then I do want to point out that Kelle, unfortunately, is not available for Windows Phone, and it's not available for BlackBerry. So if you have a Windows Phone or if you have a BlackBerry, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to use Kelle. That is very similar to the KW app. The KW app is only available on iPhone and Android. Once you've got Kelle downloaded and you tap on the icon and you open it up, you're going to sign in using your mykw.kw.com username and password. This used to be the kw.onelogin.com username and password until KW International made the change to the login system a couple of weeks ago that caused a lot of headaches across the whole KW universe there. So you're going to sign in to Kelle using the same username and password that you used to sign into mykw.kw.com. The username here for Kelle is not going to be an address, an email address. It's not going to contain @kw.com. It's just going to be a username that was assigned to you when you joined KW. It's typically in the format first initial, last name, and then maybe a number or two, like jsmith15 or something like that. Once you're signed in, if you're on an iPhone, you can enable either Touch ID if you're on an older phone than the iPhone X, or if you're on iPhone X, you can enable Face ID. I just received notice last time we did this class that that does work with iPhone X and Face ID. Once you're signed in, actually, you know what? Once you're signed in, you'll likely want to tap Allow on notifications so that you can get real-time updates on your referrals and on your contacts and things like that that you want to keep track of. That's kind of the point of Kelle. Half the point of Kelle is to notify you when it's time to do such and such, or when you've got a new referral, or when a contact messages you or something like that. So you more than likely want to allow notifications from Kelle. And since Kelle is a pretty new system, some issues are bound to occur, especially with signing in. If you know that the username and password that you're using to sign into Kelle are correct, you can use those to sign into MyKW. You've signed out and signed in and you know they work. You would want to reach out to KW International Support directly. That's actually not something that we can help with. KW International Support holds all of the strings for Kelle. We don't have access to any kind of fixing as far as Kelle is concerned. So if there's any issue with your Kelle app, you would want to reach out directly to KW International because we just don't have any access to it. And KW International's email and phone number are on the screen there, support@kw.com or 512-306-7191. Once you are signed in, this is what the home page is going to look like. It's essentially a chat between you and Kelle. It should look actually vaguely similar to using Siri if you're on an iPhone. You can either type or speak requests into the message bar at the bottom, and we'll cover more on that later. For now, we're going to open the menu in the very bottom right by tapping those three gray horizontal bars. One of them is shorter than the others. That's the one on the bottom. We'll tap on that button to open up the menu. Once you're in this menu, you can view your profile, change your app settings, or submit feedback on Kelle to the KW International team. And in fact, I think they've added some additional things since I took this screenshot. You may also see contacts and my insights. So those are some other things you can access from the menu here. We're going to tap on your name up at the very top to see your profile as far as what other agents are going to see when they search for you in Kelle. This is how you look to other agents who search for you within Kelle, and do note that you can only view your profile here in Kelle. You can't make any changes. You can't change your email or your phone number or your picture here in Kelle. You can only view it. You can make those changes online on the browser in KWConnect, and we're going to go over that later in the class as well. We're going to tap on the back arrow up in the top left to go back to the menu. Back here in the menu, we're going to tap on Settings to open up the app settings. And right now, the only feature that's available here is Listen for Hey Kelle. This was introduced on May 11th, 2018. And with the Kelle app open, she's listening for you to say, Hey Kelle, and then a command. If you want to use this feature, you'll need to come here into Settings and turn it on. It's not on by default. You have to come in and manually turn it on. A couple of things to note about the Hey Kelle feature. First is after you say Hey Kelle, you're going to want to pause for about half a second before you actually say your command for what you want Kelle to do. This is a little bit different than Hey Siri or OK Google or Hey Cortana or Hey Alexa or whatever voice assistant you've used. They're listening for it immediately after you say it. You can just say the whole command all at once. With Kelle, you have to wait for her to actually be ready for that command. You have to pause for just a second. And then another thing about Hey Kelle is it's really sensitive. It'll be listening even if you just say Kelle, it'll start listening to what you're trying to say. So be careful with what you say when you're working with Hey Kelle. She'll try to hear anything that you're saying, and her voice recognition is pretty good, and she'll try to perform some kind of command with what you said, and most of the time she's going to be really confused. So be careful with when you use Hey Kelle. back in the beginning of August, I had not yet received confirmation that Hey Kelle works with Android. At the beginning of August, the last I heard was it didn't. So if anybody knows whether Kelle works for Hey Kelle works for Android, that voice feature, let me know so I can get that added in here. We're going to go back to the home page, so we'll tap that back arrow and then tap it again to go back to the home page for Kelle. Let's see, we can use the text box here just like sending a message to Kelle to do things, or you can use voice commands. So to open up the, the keyboard to type a command to Kelle, you would tap on that little keyboard icon down in the bottom left. It's that little square with some dots in it and an arrow pointing up. Brooklyn says, Android says coming soon for the Hey Kelle feature. So it looks like that's still not working. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So yeah, to open up that keyboard to type a command to Kelle, you would tap that icon in the very bottom left. And then for voice commands, if you want to speak your command to Kelle, you can either just start with Hey Kelle, or you can tap on that microphone down in the bottom center. To learn what types of things you can ask Kelle, there's a couple of ways to find that out. You can either ask, what can you do? You can either type that out or say, Hey Kelle, what can you do? Or you can tap on information up in the top right. It's that little I inside the square up in the very top right. So we're going to tap on that to see what kinds of commands that we can use with Kelle. Now, your mileage may vary. Your screen may look a little bit different from here. This is one of those things that different labs participants are going to have different, what are they called, features in here. I'm going to show you what I've got on mine, and there are some things that you may have that I don't, and I may have that you don't. But for now, just if there's anything that's different between your screen and mine, it's probably just because of your lab's permissions. So once the information menu is open, you can tap on the different sections to see a list of example commands pertaining to that topic. For me, she can work with referrals, CGI, KWConnect, listings, profit share, QR code scanning, and then what everyone's been waiting for, the contact system. I'm actually going to go check on whether it works with calendar too. Let me see here. Come on, open up my information menu. Calendar. So right now, all Kelle can do with calendar, at least for me, is view what's on my calendar. You can connect this to your Google Calendar, and she can look at what's on your calendar and tell you what's there. She can't add anything to your calendar just yet, at least as far as I can see. So we'll talk more about that in a little bit as well. You can tap on any of these sample commands for Kelle to perform that action. And one thing to point out is that this is not a full comprehensive list of everything that Kelle can do. These are examples of types of things that Kelle can do, and you would want to experiment with different things that you want to accomplish with these commands. What was I trying to say? You can experiment with different things that you're trying to accomplish with these commands to see whether Kelle can actually do them. Let's see here. We're going to be working on the referrals section for most of the rest of this part of the class here, going through the rest of the slideshow. We're also going to cover some of the things that Kelle can do with listings and contacts after that. But for now, let's tap on that back arrow up in the top left to go back to the home page. The last thing on the home page that I want to show you is up at the very top right, this little bell icon. That's where you're going to receive notifications from your referral network in KWConnect, and then depending on your lab's features, eventually from your KW Command contacts and from your calendar here in the Kelle app. To see these notifications, you'll tap on that bell icon up in the top right, right next to that information icon. And what I can't show you here on the screenshot is that if you do have new notifications, one that haven't been looked at or tapped on or swiped to delete, there's going to be a little tiny teal dot up in the top right of that bell icon to let you know there's new notifications in there. Right now, the most common notification you're going to receive from Kelle is referral network requests from KWConnect, though you could potentially see notifications about content in KWConnect from people you subscribe to, like maybe John Davis or Chris Heller or whatever. You'll also receive email notifications for any of these notifications so that you can accept or deny whatever referral request that you received on your computer as well as here in Kelle. One big note here about the referral network, and I want to cover this before we get too much into that, is that when we do get over to working with the referral network, you want to keep in mind that this is not a social media platform. It's a business tool. You don't have to accept every referral network request that you receive, and you should not be offended if someone else doesn't accept your referral network request. Nor do you need to send a referral request to everyone in your office or in your state or in the whole company. You only want to work with your referral network, and you only want to send and accept requests to and from agents that you actually believe you may exchange referrals with, people you may actually do business with and send business to and receive business from. Otherwise, this defeats the purpose of creating your hand-picked referrals network and becomes just another white pages lookup where you can just search for a name and a phone number. So you want to keep your referrals network relatively small. We recommend sticking to agents that you've actually worked with in the past, or maybe that you connected with somewhere, maybe at mega camp or family reunion, and you truly believe that you might do business with them. You want to keep that referral network pretty relatively small so that these are people that you know are quality, that you can feel confident sending your referrals to and from. If you do decide to accept an invitation to join someone's referral network, you'll see that congratulatory message from Kelly. Also, if your referral network request is accepted or rejected on the other end, Kelly will notify you of that as well. Let's tap on the back arrow to go back to the homepage of Kelly. To send a referral network request, you can ask Kelly either by typing it or with a voice command to add so-and-so to my referral network. You would replace so-and-so with the name of whoever. She'll search KWConnect for agent profiles matching that name and then show you the list of results. You would swipe sideways and then tap on select for the correct person that you want to add to your referral network. And then you can add an optional note to go with your request that you're sending to that person. And then you would tap on save up in the very top right to actually send that request to that person, and then they can accept or deny it on their end. To show a list of agents that are already in your referral network, just ask Kelly to display that. You can say referral network or show my referral network or who is in my referral network, and then you can also swipe sideways through that list to see the agents that are currently in your referral network. You can call, text, or email anybody in your referral network list here, or you can open the menu, that's those 3 horizontal dots there, to either follow them on KWConnect, see their latest posts on KWConnect, remove them from your referral network, or send them a new referral, a new buyer or seller that you want them to work with. To view someone's profile that's in your network, or if you're just searching for them, tap on their picture or tap on their name. When you're viewing their profile, you can also contact them using those same methods I mentioned before: email, text, call, all that fun stuff. You can also see the statistics that they've chosen to display on their profile, such as year they joined KW, closed units for the past year, closed volume for the past year, total time in real estate, that kind of stuff. And you can control that on your profile as well. That's something we're going to look at later. Going back to the Kelly homepage, you can type or say, send a referral to so-and-so. This person, this so-and-so, does not necessarily have to be in your referral network already. Kelly will show a list of possible matches in and out of your referral network, and you would just tap on select to choose the right agent that you actually want to send this referral to. On the referral form, you would complete the referral fee, deadline to accept the referral, client information, all that fun stuff, and then tap send at the top right. One thing to point out about filling out this form here, all the fields are required. You have to choose a referral fee and a deadline, and normally the defaults that are there, 25% and 24 hours, will be fine. You have to tell them whether it's a buyer, seller, or renter. You have to give them the city, state, and zip, name, email, phone, and then even way down at the bottom, notes. You have to tell them something about this person that you're referring them as a potential client. Everything is required before you can click that send at the top right. When someone sends a referral to you using the same process we just covered, you'll receive a notification both here in Kelly and an email notification. You can accept or deny or whatever you want to do with that referral, either here in Kelly or on KWConnect through that email. Here in Kelly, we're going to tap on View within this notification section to see the details of this referral that have been sent over to me, or to Scott, really. This is his version of the app. Or actually, this is mine, from Scott. Once you tap on View, you're looking at the referral details. In here, you have the option to accept the referral as it is, counter with a new referral fee. Typically, it's going to be a lower referral fee, or reject the referral outright. You don't want to work with this person. You don't want to work in that area. You don't want to work on this agent's referral. If you decide to accept the referral, you just tap on accept, and then you can send a note of thanks or saying how well you're going to take care of this client or something like that to the agent who sent you this referral. And then you would go reach out to that client because this agent sent you the referral. If you decide that the referral fee offered isn't acceptable, or the referral we requested, I should change that to, you can counter with a lower percentage. So someone has sent you a referral and they want, say they want 50% referral fee. That's kind of ridiculous. You can tap on the counter option and change it to 20-25%, something that's more normal. You'll also choose how long this referring agent has to accept or reject your counter. You can do anywhere from just 1 hour up to 4 days, 96 hours. And then you can also send a note describing your reason asking for the lower referral percentage. From there, the ball is in that referring agent's court, again, to accept or deny or counter your counter. It's very similar to negotiating with buyers and sellers. If you decide to reject this referral, whether because you don't know this agent who's sending you the referral, or you don't want to work with this particular person, or you don't want to work in that area, or you don't want to work with this type of client, buyer, seller, renter, whatever, you would tap on reject, and you have to put in a note of apology there. You have to let them know why you've rejected this, or actually, I'm sorry, I'm confused there. You don't have to enter a note there. You can just tap on reject and say, no, I don't want to work with this. You don't have to give a reason. You can view a list of all of the active referrals requests, those that have not been rejected or completed, by asking Kelle to show my active referrals. And again, that's either type or say that, and she'll show you the list of referrals that you're currently working on or are being worked on by someone else. From here, you can again swipe sideways between awaiting response, outbound referrals, or inbound referrals. And you can tap on any individual referral to see the details of that referral. So here on the screen here, I've got an example of an inbound referral. Inbound means it was sent to me from someone else. And let's see. If I accept a referral already without looking at what they were offering, how do I go back and look at what I agreed to? We're actually coming right up on that. That's a great question. That'll be in the next couple of screens here. So to see the details of the referral, you can tap on any individual referral, and it'll show you the details of that. So right here is actually where you would see those details, that referral fee, that time frame, whatever, for this buyer. You see this referral fee right here. This is what you agreed to for this referring agent. If you accept a referral, or if the referring agent accepts your counter, it's good to keep that referring agent abreast of how the transaction is going. While you're viewing the details of the referral, you can tap on update down on the bottom to send a status note to the referring agent. You know, I called this person and they didn't answer, I left a voicemail, or I called them and we've got an appointment to go look at some houses on such and such date, or you know, we looked at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 houses and they weren't happy. This is becoming an ordeal, that kind of thing. You can send in an update to that other agent. And then once a referral transaction is over, whether because the deal closed or because it didn't work out, you're going to want to complete the referral so it doesn't stay in the list of your active referrals. You would just use the steps we covered earlier to view your active referrals. Just ask Kelle and then tap on the details for that one referral, and you would tap on complete down at the bottom. You would tell the system and you would tell the referring agent whether the transaction did or did not close, and then you do have to add a note. This is where I got confused here. The note here for the closing of the referral is required. Once you add your note, whether it closed and you know, it got financed and everything's taken care of, or if it did not close, you enter a note of, you know, the financing fell through, they decided not to move, I didn't want to work with this person anymore, so I dropped them as a client. You can put that in the note there, and then you would tap on complete. Now this referral wouldn't show up under active referrals anymore. To see referrals that are no longer active, just ask Kelle to show closed referrals. You would type or say show closed referrals, and it'll show a list of those also. You can view any referrals activity log, whether it's active or completed. You would just open up the details of that referral and then tap on activity log up at the very top right. You'll see the initial request, any counters, the acceptance of the referral, any update notes back and forth, and then if or when the deal was closed or lost. I do want to point out this is in reverse order. The bottom one is going to be the initial request, and then the top is going to be the most recent update or the close or the lost of this referral. It's going to show the most recent one up at the top of the list. Okay, so we're pretty much done going over working with referrals with Kelle. We're going to jump into some other stuff in just a couple of minutes, but I do want to cover a few last things about working with referrals there. Right now, Kelle's features are pretty limited. They are adding new features pretty often, and actually this isn't really that accurate anymore. Kelle can do a good bit at this point. KW International has announced several integrations that they're working on for Kelle. However, they have not announced a time frame on when these features are going to be working. You know what? That's not accurate anymore either. They talked about, and I need to find this, there's was in a slideshow at MegaCamp for, let's see, I think there was a general release of features to agents around the beginning of next year, maybe the end of this year. For when Kelle will be able to do everything that Kelle can do for agents until they add new features. But everybody's going to have access to the same things either around the end of this year or beginning of next year. And then some features, like I mentioned at the very beginning of the class, are available to labs participants, things like the calendar and command and things like that. Eventually, Kelle should be able to do all of these things. Add or edit contacts to your database, which is going to be KWCommand, that new database system that KW is developing. She can set a follow-up reminder for a contact eventually. She can add appointments to your schedule or calendar. She can also view those appointments in your calendar. She can show neighborhood information through a partnership with Nextdoor.com. That's, I think, going to be integrated with the snapshots of neighborhoods. And then potentially she'll be able to do more. Looks like she can work with certain CGI goals. She can work with your production and show you what that looks like, that kind of stuff. And I do want to point out that these features may take a while to become reality, but we will be updating this class once they happen. And that's it for, what am I looking at here? Oh, it started back over. Where was I? Okay, so that's it for the slideshow portion here. Now I'm going to start sharing my screen as far as the other features for what Kelle can do. Let me get this up here, theoretically. I may have to restart my program here in just a minute. No, I don't want to update right now, thank you. Oh, is it working? Okay, so here is my Kelle screen here, and I apologize for the A Power Mirror watermark right here. It's not going to cover much, hopefully. I'm going to open up my information menu up here in the top right just to look at a list of sample commands that we can do with Kelle whenever it decides it wants to open. There we go. So we've got like general questions, calendar, contacts, referrals, connect, CGI, listings, local insights, QR code scanning, and profit share. So for this, I'm going to start at the top and just give a rough overview of what they are before we dive into them. General questions is, general questions about what KW is, certain features inside KW, profit share, 411, lore, that kind of thing. Calendar is going to integrate with your Google Calendar, whether that's connected to your KW email or any other Gmail account. You can get that connected in the KW command interface. And that, ooh, I see my resizing handle here. Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh, come on. I just want to make this bigger. Okay, not that much bigger, apparently. Okay, where was I? So she can work with your Google Calendar. Right now, like I said at the beginning of the class, it's only view. She can only look at what's on your calendar. You would still have to go into Google Calendars directly and add appointments to your calendar, whether it's with so-and-so or whatnot. And when you're adding appointments to your calendar, in the title, you do want to say appointment with so-and-so that's in your database, or showing with so-and-so that's in your database. That name is how Kelle connects that to certain contacts in your database. For contacts here, Kelle can find contacts that are already in your database, add new contacts in your database, add notes to contacts in your database. Let's see, show me contacts I have not contacted in the last 3 months. That's a really helpful feature. Show me contacts in a certain geographical area. Add some contacts to a group, show contacts to a particular group, and those are all in KW Command. This isn't working with Edge or eEdge, this is working in Command. In referrals here, this is basically covering what we just covered in the class, how your referrals are doing, sending referrals to people, adding people to your referral network. Here in Connect, this is looking at events that you've looked at or have signed up for in KWConnect. You can show content from so-and-so. It doesn't have to be John Smith or John, what is his name? Co-CEO? I can't remember his name. Chris Heller or anybody else. You can say a particular name, show latest uploads from so-and-so. You can find agents there in KWConnect. You can show new links or content. Show me the latest red report. Show the red report for such and such time in the past. What events are going on in Austin, that kind of thing. See, CGI, how close am I to reaching my CGI goals? How many appointments did I complete this year? And you would need to go and put those into your CGI calculator for her to know that. How many listings do I need this month? All the different CGI numbers. And let's see, it looks like this is view only. It looks like you're not adding things to the CGI. She's just looking at what you've already added to your CGI. Listings is your listings, your pending listings, expired listings. Find a listing at a certain address. Kelle Snap for such and such zip code. Pull up Kelle stats for this area. Let me look at that. Is that GPS? Yeah, so here's a GPS. Here's the snapshot for this area. Total active, total pending, average prices, sold, and all that. And then you're supposed to be able to, there we go, there's our share button. Actually, we're not going to go too much into that at this point. Let me go back to my information menu. Local insights. Now, local insights has not been defined very well from KW International. As far as we've been able to tell about local insights is agents, you guys, are going here into the local insights section and you're tapping on create a local insight. And you're choosing, okay, I want to tell other agents about this particular place, this restaurant, this title company, this inspector, this, whatever, or I want to tell other agents about this area, this is popular with military families, this is has a great school system, this is near to such and such university or other point of interest. And then other, I'm not super clear on. I have, like I said, I have yet to see any kind of definition from KW International about what local insights is, but what it sounds like is agents sharing information with each other about certain places and certain areas around the country that may not be generally available information, things that you have found out through working in that area that you want to share with other agents. Going back to the information menu. QR code scanning is a new-ish feature that is for in-person adding someone to your referral network. So you would tap on like share my QR code and it'll pull up that QR code and someone would go over on their Kelle app and do scan QR code and they would scan your QR code to add you to their referral network and vice versa. This is basically sharing e-business cards with each other so that you don't have to share a thick stack of actual business cards. You can connect in the referral system right here in the Kelle app. Go back to information. Last one here is profit share. This shows you what your profit share totals are. And then down here at the very bottom, it's kind of hard to see here under the A Power Mirror here, is this Keller Mortgage. That's the new KW mortgage system that they're working on. This is only available in certain market centers, and it's only available to agents that have gone through the Keller Mortgage process. Don't ask me what that process looks like. We are not agents. We have not gone through that process. So if you know someone who has Keller Mortgage on their KW app or here in Kelle, you would want to ask them, or you may want to ask your MCA or ask KW International directly more information about Keller Mortgage and what that means for you as an agent. Let's go up to, let's see here. I wish I had this in a slideshow. It's so much harder doing it live here on the screen. Let's go to, we already covered a good bit about, well, no, we didn't. Let's look at the exciting section of contacts here. This is really what everybody's concerned about. Let's add a new contact. We'll tap on Add Contact. You can also type this on the home page. In fact, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to use a voice command. Add a contact. There we go. Happy to help. To add a contact, I will need a name and either an email or phone number. So I'm going to tap on Enter Contact Details, and I'm going to type in this name, email, and phone number. So this is going to be, Jane Snow, and her phone number is going to be the Scott Leroy number, 321-236-2568. And then you can put in an email of so-and-so@whatever.com. And then you would tap on Save up in the top right here, and now that contact is in your command database. Actually, you know what? It pops up here with an error. Looks like that phone number is already in use. Please resolve the conflict before continuing. So it lets me know that Alan Agent here already has this phone number, so I can't add a contact with this same phone number. I'd have to use a different one, and it would do the same thing for email address. Where was I there? Let's see. What other kind of stuff can Kelly do with contacts? Let's see. Let's try a voice command. Show contacts on a map. No, that wasn't looking for any dates at all. Show contacts near me. I don't need dates. Okay, there was a map view. Hold on. Let's open up our menu down on the bottom right. There we go. There's map there. And here in this map section, this is way zoomed in on where I am. I don't need you guys to know my specific location. We're going to go, let's go down here to Oklahoma City. So in this area, you can search for, up here in the top right, you see this little icon that looks like a yard sign. This is looking for listings. So let's search for listings in this area. We'll tap on Search This Area, and this is going to show listings in this area. There's a lot of listings in this area, and you can tap on individual ones to see information about that particular listing. Tap on the pop-up there, and here is details. We can go back, and it's a little bit hidden, the white text on the image here. Go back. You can also, if you tap on this little icon here that shows the yard sign here, that's currently for listings, and it lets you know that's what it's searching right here. Let's see. Can contacts from outside CRM be placed into Kelly? That's a great question. Yes and no, or actually yes. Actually, the answer is pretty much yes. It's a little bit of an interesting process, but that's actually one of the things that we're here for here at Scott Leroy Marketing. As long as you can get your contacts from whatever other CRM that you've got into a CSV file, comma separated values, or into an Excel file, and you send that over to us and include your MyKW username and password, we can get your contacts imported here into Kelly, or really it's KWCommand that Kelly is connecting to. And on the subject of contacts from other CRMs, I do want to point out that I think this is available for Labs participants. You can actually connect your eEdge account to Command, and it would automatically bring in your contacts from eEdge into Command. So if that's what you're looking for, getting your contacts from eEdge into Command, that's a fairly automatic process, and you can do that in the Command system. Going back here to the search, that was a great question. Back here to the search here, you can search for, let's just tap on agents here. We'll see agents in this area. Tap on search this area. And it looks like there are 5 market centers in Oklahoma City. So if I tap on one of these here, oh, looks like these are individual agents actually. So I can look at these particular agents, and if I tap on that, it's going to show me their profile here in KWConnect. So this may be a good way to look for an agent to send a referral to in this area. I have no idea what these points are here. What are these points? Beats me. If anybody knows what those points mean, let me know. Okay, so those are agents in this area. You can search for contacts in this area, and there aren't going to be any here for me. It's not going to show me any contacts, but they would show up very similarly to those agents. Let me look for my previous zip code. Do return Richmond. There we go. I put in 3 fake contacts in this area. And if I go back out here to the map, and that's me tapping on these little arrows here to slide back in this menu, it's showing them on the map here. That's these little green dots here with the person silhouette. Those are where contacts are based on the address that you have in the command system. Let's see, insights here is like we covered with insights a little bit ago. This is insights that might have been shared in this area. It looks like there aren't any in Richmond, and that's not surprising because I was the only KW connected person in Richmond and I didn't add any. Looks like highway sign names. I'm not sure what you're referring to. There are some highway sign names in there, but you should also see different icons for the contacts. Insights. I know there are insights down in like, ooh, I zoomed way out. I think I've seen some insights somewhere in Florida. There we go. There's a couple of insights. It's these little blue or purple, it looks like, icons. You can tap on that and see the insight. One of the coolest gas stations and convenience stores you'll ever step into. Fresh food, snacks, blah, blah, blah. So this is about a particular gas station in this area. And this agent has shared that this is a great one to go to if you're traveling in the area or if you have a client that's traveling into the area. There we go. That's neat. And then also you can look at snaps for an area. Let me look at this. What does that mean? Who knows? If anybody figures out what that means, let me know. Okay, let's go back here. Contacts, what do we got here? Okay, let's go back to our menu. So again, back on the Kelle homepage, down in the bottom right here, we'll tap on contacts here, and this is showing you your current contacts in your database. So you can work with them, you can add notes, you can view their contact information, here in Kelle. You can also, again, add those contacts with voice commands or text commands. Where was I? That's roughly the most important things I need to show you here in the Kelle app. Now I'm going to switch over to my browser. I'm going to leave Kelle open just in case I need to. We're going to go in a browser to login.command.kw.com. So this is KW Command is the system that Kelle is pulling the information for contacts from. And you're going to log into Command using your same username and password that you use to log into MyKW and into Kelle. So, oops, wrong password. Changed it recently, as most people did. Okay, this is what your command dashboard looks like, and this is actually new, this dashboard. There used to be a blank page here, so this is really neat here. But we're going to skip this section here just so I can show you where we can get connected with your eEdge and with your KW, with your Google email and with your Google Calendar. That's up here in the very top right. See this little settings icon? It looks like 3 sliders in different positions here. That's one of the universal symbols for settings. Another one is a gear, but this is going to open up settings here in Command. And then here you can connect your command system to several different providers here. And this is one of the most certain areas that I'm pretty sure that what you're seeing here is going to look different than what I'm seeing. I do have some labs features in here that a lot of people don't have. So if there's anything that you're seeing on my screen here that you don't have, that's just because I'm in labs. So a couple of things that you can connect to is here Facebook, Twitter, and Google AdWords. If you're running ads on any of these systems here, you can connect that to your account, to your KW Command, and you can actually run ads from here inside Command to any or all of these systems here. You can also connect your Gmail and your Google Calendar to your command system. It shows I'm already connected here, and I can click this to disconnect. But if you click on Connect, it's basically going to ask you to log into Gmail and into Google Calendar really easily. And it will, what this Gmail connection is for is so that your contacts that are here in your database, if you have sent messages to the email address that's associated with that contact in your email system, it'll track that in that contact here in Command. You're not sending messages within Command like you do in eEdge. It's actually tracking your regular messages, which is the better way to do it, in your Gmail account. Now, right now, as far as I can tell, Gmail is the only system that can connect here. No Yahoo, no AOL, no Outlook, no anything else. So if you use one of those other email systems for your regular email correspondence, might be worth looking into switching to Gmail, whether it's your KW email or another Gmail account, so that it can keep track of the emails that you've sent to your contacts that are here in Command. And then for Google Calendar, this is where your that tool in Kelle where it was showing you what your calendar looks like. You can connect that there and see when you have appointments with so-and-so, when you have your next CE, I guess. You could get your continuing education on your calendar, and it would show you on your Kelle, you would say what events are coming up, and she would show you all those events. It's primarily for working with clients and people that are in your database. So you would add in your Google Calendar, you would add an event for meeting with so-and-so, and that would show in Kelle, and it would be associated with that contact here in Command. And then for MailChimp here, if you've got a MailChimp account and you're running campaigns through MailChimp, you can connect that here, and you can manage those campaigns and mailers here in Command. It looks like there isn't an actual drip campaign system here in Command. It connects to an existing system, which is MailChimp, which is very, very robust, millions of people using it, and I think that's a great idea as well. Rather than KW trying to keep up with their own drip system, they're connecting to one that's outside that you can use for free. And then also down here for eEdge, you can get that connected, like I mentioned a little bit ago, to automatically bring your contacts from eEdge here into KW Command. Really neat. So that's those integrations there. And then lastly, we're going to go to our MyKW homepage. And I don't have time to cover everything about working with referrals in KWConnect, but we're going to look at the profile that we were seeing in Kelle that other agents are seeing when they're searching for a referral and they find you. We're going to cover updating that profile. So from your MyKW homepage, let me get zoomed in here. There we go. On your MyKW homepage, up in the top black menu, we'll click on Education. And this is going to take us into KWConnect to the page for KWU courses, Keller Williams University. Up here in the top right, we're going to hover. This is one of the things, a little bit of a glitch that's in KWConnect. When you click on Education, it'll take you here to KWConnect, and you are already logged in. So all you'll have to do is click on the KWConnect logo. It'll take you to the KWConnect homepage, and then you'll be able to get over to your profile to edit that. Now you would go up here in the top right, hover over your picture or your initials, whatever's up here, and then you would click on Profile. It's the first option here whenever it decides to load. I've never had this happen. There we go. Click on My Profile. Eventually. And then this is the profile that shows on Kelle and when you show up in search results. It got your stats, it has your stats, it's got your stats. I tried to combine things. It's got your service area, your name, your followers, all of that fun stuff. And you can edit the information that shows down here and the stats that you want to show by clicking on Edit My Profile right here. So on this page, you can choose your picture, that one that was in the circle there. You can upload your banner image. That's the one that's behind that circle image. And this is very specific here. When you click on this little eye icon right here, it says, or when you hover over it, required dimensions exactly, no bigger, no smaller, 1920 pixels wide by 313 pixels tall. And it has to be cropped to exactly those sizes. It can't be any bigger or smaller. It's not going to scale it. It has to be exactly that size. And if you need help getting that resized there, we actually have a class specifically for that. Just shoot us an email at support@scottleroymarketing.com. You can update your contact email for the referrals and Kelle right here. You can update your phone number, whether this is your business or your office phone number. You can update your cell phone, your service area, You just type in, Tempe, Arizona, that kind of thing. This bio right here is separate from a public profile bio that clients are going to see. This is actually for agents to see, for KW agents to see. So if you want to showcase how you work with referrals, the number of referrals you've closed, all of that fun stuff, you can put that in this bio here. And this is not going to be seen publicly by clients. It's only going to be seen internally by other KW agents here in the referral network. You put your Facebook link in here, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Google+, and these do want the full http:// everything there. Custom tags, this is not, excuse me, like meta tags for a website. This is tags for content that you create here in KWConnect. If you don't create content, you don't need to put in any tags, but if you do create content and you want to have tags applied to most of your content that you upload, you can put in things like, scripts or FSBO or templates or that kind of thing. This is for the content that you put here into KWConnect. Clients are not going to be seeing this. Referrals are not going to be seeing this. This is not part of what you search for in the referral network. This is for content that you put into KWConnect. So you want to be very, accurate with what these tags are as far as the content that you put into KWConnect. For primary market center, if you're a member of multiple market centers, you would select the one that you work out of primarily. This is where you're going to show up under market centers in the referral search. For email frequency here, you can get either a notification for each update every day or every week. You can't turn off notifications here in KWConnect. You're always going to be notified of new content from the people you follow, or comments on your content, or followers to your content, or your referrals here in the KWConnect referral system. Down here, you're choosing which stats you want to display on your profile. So do you want to show your team name? Do you want to show memberships in GPS or luxury or farm and ranch? Do you want to show your closed units? That's both buy and sell. Do you want to show buy side? Do you want to show time with KW? Do you want to show specializations, which comes from, I don't know where that comes from. Do you want to show languages? That's going to come from your white pages profile. Do you want to show list side closed? Do you want to show leases closed? And do you want to show your total time in real estate, which actually comes from Winmore? That's something that your MCA would need to update. And then once you've made any changes to this profile, you would click update, and that would be applied to your profile on Kelle and here in KWConnect, both for the referral system and for your content that you add to KWConnect. Okay. Oh, one thing I want to share with you, that slideshow that we were looking at the beginning of the class, I can get you that link here. Let me send it over to you in the chat window. To get your copy of that slideshow that we were looking at, excuse me, you can get that in Google Drive there. You can view that, you can download it, you can print it, all that fun stuff. You can't make changes to it unless you make a copy, but that's instructions there in the slideshow itself. All right, got a couple of good questions here. The first one is, how in the world did you get to KW Command? I'm sorry, I forgot to outline how I did that. So to get to Command, let me open up an incognito window here. So to get to Command, if you have access to Command, up in your address bar, you're going to type login.command.kw.com. It has to have all three of those dots there. It's login.command.kw.com. There's several dots in there. Once you're on that login.command.kw.com page, you're going to log in using your same MyKW username and password. That's how you access Command. That's a great question. And then I have another question here for, will Kelle provide comp data? Comparables, that one's a good question. Let me see maybe if that is available. Listings. I'm going to pull up my Kelle screen here for you guys to see. As far as I can tell, it doesn't show comp data currently, but that would be a great option to suggest to KW International. So let me show you how to do that. From your from your Kelle homepage, we're going to open up our menu down here in the bottom right, and we're going to submit feedback, the second to the last option here. And you would say, hey, I would love for Kelle to show comp data for a particular listing. And you would just type that right here. something like that. And yes, I love Kelly. I'm going to recommend that. And then you would submit that. And feedback submitted. Thanks for the feedback. And it's got your name there. That was a good question. Brooklyn said she'd love to use Command, but she's not part of Labs yet. Yeah, that is unfortunately only available to Labs participants. But I think I covered this earlier. I did see a roadmap recently, and I need to go find that image to add it to the slideshow. All Labs features, I think, are either going to be available to all agents at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, or sometime after New Year. Okay, someone says they'll have to play, then they have additional questions. That's fine. Just shoot them over to us at support@scottleroymarketing.com, or we should be doing this class the third Wednesday of the month each month, so you can come back next month and you can ask questions then. I have a question that says they received an inbound referral, but you didn't see the note until after it was accepted. Is that a glitch? It definitely sounds like a glitch. That would be a great question for KW International or via that submit feedback option there in Kelly. Or if you want to email them, it's support@kw.com, or their phone number is 512-306-7191. If you do think of anything after the class, definitely shoot them over to us in an email at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Everybody have a great day.